Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guest today is Josh Resnickow, director of the Cedar Rapids Community Orchestra and many other orchestras. We might dive into that a little bit more as we did the last time you were in as well. But welcome,
Absolutely.
Josh.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
What honestly seems like show number 734 on Christmas programs, and we're not done yet because there are some to come. But
Absolutely.
the Cedar Rapids Community Orchestra will be in action this weekend at Kirkwood.
Yes, absolutely. This Sunday, Kirkwood at 3 o'clock, and we're ready to. We had a great rehearsal last night, so we're ready to go.
When we talked last, I think you may not have done your first concert as the new director of this. So tell me a little bit about how it's going as under the Resnickow administration.
Absolutely. The first concert was wonderful, and we were able to share our talent for the veterans community for that veterans concert, and a joint effort with Dr. Kreitzer and his chorale ensemble. And it was a wonderful way to introduce ourselves with them, as well as the veterans community, but also usher in the next director and myself with the group. Change is always challenging for anybody, but the board of CRCO, as well as the members, made it as smooth as possible. It was a very successful event. The audience, the community really turned out. We had a great audience, and it was a lot of fun to put that together with chorale. And so we have some new friends there as well, which is a big mission of ours, is to get the word out of who the community orchestra is, as well as all the talent that's within that group.
Tim Hankwich is a frequent guest on the
he's
show, and I say this with all the love in the world. Orchestra Iowa sucks up a lot of air in classical music.
Absolutely.
But the community orchestra, like many groups, some people I think are surprised, and you have to be involved in this for a while before you realize it, but most colleges in particular have unless they're a big music school, have mixed ensembles that include not only students but also people from the community who just want to play.
Yeah, no, it's true. OI is incredible, and what Tim has done over there in terms of branding that as a huge community orchestra for our area, and putting a product on stage that is top notch, and bringing talent in from all sorts of areas within Iowa or the Midwest, and having really diverse programming. But as you said, there are other ensembles and other collaborations out there, but it's our job to get the word out. It's our job to let people know that these groups are out there. These groups have incredible talent. And they're people within your community. They're your neighbor playing. They're your coworker that's playing. You probably didn't even realize that they play trumpet. They're incredible. Come listen to them. Oh, they play percussion or they play violin. I didn't know that. This is wonderful. Let me go check out this show. My day job is I direct one of two orchestra directors over at Linn-Mar. And we always tell our students, this is a lifelong activity. It's a lifelong thing that you can do on a daily basis or maybe once a week or whatnot. Go to college, play. If not only as a major or a minor, and most students don't go as a major or minor, and that's fair, and that probably makes sense. But you could use it as a way to have a good break from your studies, as a part of who you are. Keep that going if that's something that you can find. Or maybe your studies take you in a different direction for a while, and as a young adult or a middle-aged adult, come back, play. And that's what the community orchestra is there for. Folks they work all day, and then they take some time out of their day, Mondays for a couple of hours to rehearse. Just forget about their work life for a little while and come join other people with like minds and want to make some music. We want to play the best that we can, but we also like to have some fun. We have laughs during the rehearsals, and that's part of the job too.
And the community orchestra, does it not have an ensemble specifically comprised of beginners or maybe people who haven't returned to their instrument in long? Isn't that what the Tyra Strings are?
Yeah, the Tyra Strings is just a wonderful group to have there. They're directed by Lynn Weinmore, our concertmaster of the CRCO. And she does an incredible job with this group, and it's designed for folks that have beginning skills or skills that are not quite at the level of CRCO, but they want to keep it going and learn how to keep those skills moving. And that group was formed a few years ago, and then she's taken it over, and they're doing some great work with that. And I insisted that they be on this concert with us because we're all part of the community. The tide raises all ships. So we wanted to be all together. And I said, hey, Lynn, love what you're doing. Let's keep this going. Let's keep it together. And let's keep the community moving forward in that. And then we get to watch and celebrate each other.
With all that groundwork laid, what is on the program for your first Christmas concert
Yeah.
as director of this ensemble?
It's also my first solo concert with the group, and we're in dress rehearsal mode this week. But we start the concert with a piece actually written by myself. It's a real difficult piece. It's called Champions Fanfare. It's been written for quite a while now, and I've orchestrated it out for full orchestra about a year ago. And it's an opener. It's just a great opener. It announces, here we are. Ask people to really pay attention and, dare I say, get off the cell phone just for a second and realize there's live musicians in front of them. So it's a wonderful opener. And then we move on to, we do a couple of tunes from that Veterans Concert, O America, which is with strings and solo violin and solo flute. Valerie Innes is playing the flute and Lynn Wymore is playing the violin. And we have some percussion in there playing O America, which was from our Veterans Concert. And then we're going to pivot over to the Hymn to the Fallen by John Williams. Again, we performed that at the Veterans Concert, but it stands actually it's for orchestra and choir, but it also stands alone really well if you don't have the singers. And there's some winds and brass parts to help cover that, and our winds and brass are incredible. We wanted to also share that piece with our audience on Sunday. Then we're going to pivot to music that's completely, we haven't played yet this year. We're going to do the Variations from Rococo by Tchaikovsky. It's a solo cello for strings and select winds. And our very own Lee Prostein, who is a student at Coe, a senior at Coe College, is an incredible cellist. I've known him ever since he was very young and going through the Cedar Rapids system, and got to direct him through honor orchestras and work with him on various aspects. And just neat to see a student and a person within our community grow and turn into the incredible player that he is now. And one of my missions as a educator at heart is to continue to offer opportunities for folks and for students. So it was a mission of mine from the very beginning when I got this job, is to make sure that Lee had another opportunity to do a concerto. And the members have been wonderfully welcome to the idea. And so he's doing select movements from the Rococo Variations by Tchaikovsky and just doing an incredible job on that piece. Then we'll pivot to something from the normal, not the normal, but the orchestral catalog, the canon, if you will. Schubert's Eighth Symphony, the first movement, dubbed the Unfinished Symphony. Never finished it. And we're going to do the first movement, which is pretty common, but it's a big movement. It's a long piece. It's about 8 minutes long, that movement. And we did a lot of wonderful patriotic music for our last set. We're going to really head into some of the standard orchestral rep with this piece and get to know the group in that way, because it's a very different approach when you're working with some of that literature. So we're going to pivot over to Unfinished Symphony, that first movement, which has been a lot of fun and a wonderful challenge for our members. We're going to round out our program with, of course, it's December 8th is the concert, so it's the holiday season here in eastern Iowa and around the world, so we're going to do a couple of holiday tunes. There's a wonderful arrangement of Green Sleeves by Matt Riley, a modern-day composer. I think he's based in Minneapolis, and it's just stunningly gorgeous. I like to call it ear candy. It's beautiful. It's got a lot of modern orchestrations that you might hear in film and TV, and Riley has a string version of this, and which I've done with my students over at Linn-Mar. But I've never got the chance to do his full orchestra version. Now here's our opportunity to do that. And that features some solo violin work from Lynn. It features also a cello solo from John Banks. He's our principal cellist, so it'll be fun to feature some of the great talent in the group from that. Then we'll close out the performance with the wonderful Leroy Anderson piece, A Christmas Festival. People have heard this. It's a pretty common piece that lots of groups have played. And it's a wonderful medley of different Christmas carols that are in there. And I think you'll see the Cedar Rapids Community Orchestra is a very serious group of folks, but then they're going to let their hair down, if you will. And I think we talked last night at rehearsal to put some flair or some color or bring some Christmas hats during the performance of this and allow the fun to be there. So that's how we'll close this portion of our show.
The Cedar Rapids Community Orchestra in concert on December 8th, Sunday afternoon, Ballantine Auditorium on the Kirkwood campus. If you'd like tickets, you can get those at kirkwood.edu/Ballantine. It's here on my home territory. I know the website pretty well.
I would imagine.
Josh, thanks for coming in today. Good luck
appreciate
with
it.
this.
Thank
And I
you.
know you've got a full week of concerts at Linmar
Yes.
yet to come.
Lots of great music.
Continue to be happy that you've taken on the community orchestra as well, bringing some
thank
new
you.
energy and fun to that, and have fun with it. And we'll talk to you in the new year with the next concert coming up.
Absolutely. We appreciate your support.
Thanks for being here. You can hear the Culture Crawl live on the radio most weekdays at 10:30, on demand at kcck.org/culture, or subscribe using your favorite podcast player. Watch our videos on the KCCK Facebook and YouTube channels. Our producer is Lydia Kilgore. The Culture Crawl theme is composed by Vivian Shanley. I'm Dennis Green, and I'll talk to you later.